Save now, share now. At KCSubaru.com, we are offering 0% financing for 63 months on select new 2021 Subaru models. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity. Go to KCSubaru.com to learn more. Submit your charity selection by 1/15/21. See Subaru.com/share for details. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. Financing for well-qualified applicants only. Subject to credit approval. Expires January 4th, 2021.
What is up, guys? I'm Dusty Grant, the host of the DG and Friends podcast. I'm excited to take this ride with you as I get to know interesting folks from all walks of life and pick their brains about their journey. I'd like to sincerely thank you for tuning in. DG and Friends starts now. What is up, everybody? Happy Hour Hangs number 4. Derek Releford, you are 4 for 4 with me on this show. What is going on with you today, my friend?
It's half my show, Dusty.
It is pretty much now. Yeah, you're kind of you're kind of a staple.
I think you just need to get more friends.
I don't have any friends left.
I can tell.
I've been in isolation.
You hit me up every Friday, like, "Hey, man, I'd like to hang out with my friends tonight, and you're the only friend I got." So,
what up, Shane? How's it going? Yeah, all my friends are online now.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way until they get mad at me.
You have friends mad at you right now?
Oh, big time, dude.
For what?
Just politics, dude. Like I just basically rage quit a bunch of friendships this week.
Rage quit?
I didn't quit the friendships. I just quit the camaraderie. I just told several people this week, like, look, I get it. You like politics, but I just can't talk about this stuff anymore. Like, I couldn't care less. Like, if they came on the news tomorrow and said America is now communist and everything's bad and China owns us, I'd be bummed out for maybe 30 minutes. And then I would probably forget it happened and smoke a bowl, have something to eat. I'll be like, are they canceling eating? No, you can still eat. All right, I don't really care who runs this bitch. Like, whatever. Like, I could care less about politics, Dusty Grant.
I'm kind of the same as you, man. I'm just not into it. They have Fox News on at the office, and then they have MSNBC because everybody's watching markets and all that kind of thing. And they literally today spoke for 8 hours straight about the vaccine for the coronavirus. And when you're in a down market and things are a little tough in the office anyway, and then you're just seeing Fox News on repeat for 9 hours a day, I am so tired of it by the time I get off work. It's like, if you're talking about politics, take a hike.
I miss the 80s and 90s where it was not cool to talk about politics. Like, I remember a time when if you ask some, Dave Chappelle has a bit about it. You ask somebody who they vote for, they'd be like, how dare you ask me that? That's a very personal question. It's it used to be a time where you just didn't see it. And then when social media happened, it became where everybody can just share their opinion at all times. And that's fine. The thing is I'm for it. I'm not telling anybody to stop giving a shit about politics. Honestly, if you believe in that stuff and you think it's going to change the world, then go for it. It's just, I just cannot physically be in the vehicle anymore. It makes me physically ill to listen to people talk about politicians. I just could not care less.
No, I my dad is really into politics, and he doesn't push his beliefs or anything like that, but his preferred listening when he's driving through Arizona, he lives in Scottsdale, and it's just beautiful up there, and his preferred jam is Fox News on the radio. And we're riding around Scottsdale. I'm like, Dad, we should turn on some Pink Floyd or something. let's get some ambiance going in the car here, Dad. Let's not listen to this same regurgitated story for the next 45 minutes while we're looking for a place to park and go to the restaurant. And I'm so fed. I found myself today, man. I was on Twitter and I had a post going, and there was a lot of interaction and stuff, and people were following, and I was following people back. And I was finding that if I went, now when someone follows me or something, I go look at their page. And if I look at their first 10 posts and 9 of them are political, I won't follow them back. But if it's funny stuff, or if it's them promoting their game, or it's them promoting their hustle, or trying to be motivational or funny or whatever, I'll always follow them back, you know. But
Yeah.
there was a guy that followed me today that might have actually been an interesting networking connection for me to make, or sent me a friend request. But I looked at the posts and I was like, I don't need to be friends with this guy.
Yeah.
All he's going to do is post political shit all day long. And I that's the last thing I need, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't like, what it is like, there's like two sides that matter. And they both are just championing this idea that the other side is stupid. And I just refuse to have that little self esteem in my country. I don't think we're fucking stupid, dude. I think people vote how they want to vote, and people are like, "Well, I can't see how anybody vote that way." It's like, well, they think the same way about you. Imagine that. It's like, it's like you guys are different. You think differently, but I don't think either of you are stupid, especially if you're holding down a job and paying your bills and feeding your children, and anybody that hasn't got evicted and they're still afloat, even if they only got $15 in the bank to last them for the end of the month, you're still winning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not an idiot. You're not a stupid person. I'm tired of this. Everybody like this line in the sand. Like we're really like we like, you really think people are stupid? It's like, yeah. It's like, really? You really think that people on the other side are just stupid? Like that's sad, man. Like these are our teammates, man. Like at the end of the fucking day, dude.
It doesn't seem like it anymore for me, does it? I mean, there's a very weird.
See, I don't believe in any of the line. I think that everybody, it's like dogs. To me, American politics are like two dogs on opposite sides of a chain link fence, and they're just fucking at each other's throats. But as soon as you open that gate and they're all at a party together, or they all like the same band, all that shit seems to not matter as much anymore. As long as there's a
Yeah.
common ground that's more interesting than politics. So like, I mean, dude, those are some of my favorite friendships. Whenever, like, I generally like being around people that think differently than me. What I don't like is them like trying to sell me. It's like it's like a Republican or a Democrat, whatever. It's like, I don't care what you believe, and I hope that you get what you get, and I hope that you everything happens the way you want it. But you trying to sell me on your idea it's the same amount of offensiveness that I get whenever somebody from high school tries to sell me on Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, this is personal. You're trying to tell me who to worship. I don't want you to tell me. It's like, no, I'm telling you who to vote for. It's like, same thing. You guys fucking worship these people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't tell me who to worship, man. I worship we worship who we worship in this house, and that's as far as it goes. None of your business, none of our. I miss it being nobody's business what you thought politically, because like we have a day set aside to vote on that shit. Like, why are we arguing? It's like, just vote on that day and that's it. Whatever the outcome is, next time.
Well, I'm at the point where like I don't even feel like it makes a difference anymore. Like, what am I gonna? I did my part. I voted this year, all that. But like I'm just like, what am I even voting for right now? I just I don't know. I guess I might be so consumed with my own personal life and what I got going on and trying to build my nest and all that kind of thing that I don't have the time to be so preoccupied with all that garbage. And I mean, I think it's probably amplified because you got a lot of people right now that aren't working. You got a lot of people that haven't been in a social interaction in a long time. And they're watching goofballs like us wax poetic all day long about everything. And people are just hostile or something like that. I don't know. I'm even starting to notice it's like all the stuff everywhere I go, I have to look at a poster on the wall about COVID. I have to hear a commercial about COVID. I mean, it's like everywhere I turn, something is just being rammed down my throat. Even on our podcast, man, when you go back and listen to them on Spotify, the commercials that they put on our shows are like, they're all about wearing masks and all that and yes, let's all be safe. I mean, I'm not, but it's like, do you have to ram it? It's like, I don't need a reminder of what's going on in the world right now. I don't need to have it. Like, it almost feels like propaganda or something. It's so weird how everything is now.
Rob Scribner says, I try to avoid the news now. Got better things to do. Matt Sondag says, not till 4 more years should we care anymore. It's fucking over. Let's get back to fucking. My thing is like, yeah, man, I miss when that shit didn't matter. I miss like Like, I mean, think about it, dude. When you were like fucking 15, 16 years old and you were going out with the crew, you know, your little group of friends that whatever God is out there, energy put you in that neighborhood, made you bump into Jimmy, made him introduce you to his cousin Ted. Next thing you know, you're in a fucking group of shitheads. I mean, do you remember ever before you guys did anything that was a bad idea that you guys had planned, you're getting ready to do it? Did you ever stop like, okay, time out before we do this? It's a really stupid thing that could probably fuck our lives up. Who did you vote for? I mean, I don't remember asking shit like that, dude. Like, no. I didn't care. I don't care.
I don't care either. Yeah, I don't care either anymore. It gets so redundant to me to hear about it that I'm just like, psh, I just check out. I'm done. I'll unfollow you. Any of that. You just completely end things for me. And the reason why I don't like it is because the last thing I want to talk about is politics, and here we are talking about it. Let's pivot. What's going on with you, man? How are all the shows going? How's the work going on the documentary? How's everything lining up for you right now?
I had a meeting today with the writer, and we're gonna, because like she said she'd work with us, and then I just I was like, I felt like I had won something, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, cool, something, a win for D. Relly. That's nice. That doesn't happen very often. And then so the first day that I was supposed to get to work, I like sat down and I was getting ready to start working on it. And then I was like, well, let's smoke a bowl and watch a little bit of Netflix and just see what happens. And it just turned into like a week, dude, of just me avoiding this shit because I had nowhere to start and I did nowhere to start, dude. It's just a big fucking project and it's all in my head and I got to get it down on paper. And I just didn't know what to start. So I finally hit her up Friday, I think it was. And I was like, hey, I just need some advice, you know? And so we talked on the phone today for a little while and she's kind of got me pointed in the right direction of like a starting point and how she explained it to me of where to start and everything. It's way less scary. Like it's something that I'm probably going to pump out this project she has for me for this first bit we're going to start on. I'll probably have it out in like a week or two, like to her so she can start writing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's going pretty good on that, man. Back home's back home. Me and Ken are no longer friends anymore. I thought we were friends, but he unfriended me, so I guess we're not friends anymore.
Oh, but, okay.
Politics stuff, you know, just that. But other than that, man, like, and again, I have no hard feelings towards anybody that I recently just decided not to hang out with anymore. Like, it's just one of those things where you have to make decisions every day for yourself at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And you have to be like, what is going to put me in the right mood and right atmosphere to succeed? And, you know, just I'm getting to that point where I'm like, okay, like this right here doesn't make me happy. It makes me feel angry. So I'm going to replace it with something else that makes me feel accomplished, you know, like some type of work, you know. And maybe that's the thing, Dusty. If I didn't have shit going on with my life, maybe I would sit around and talk about stuff that doesn't matter.
Maybe so.
Like, yeah. I got so much shit going on. I'm just like, who has the time to sit around and argue about anything? You know, like football teams and shit. I'm like, man, just watch the game. Fuck it.
Yeah. I don't know. You're lucky you can sit down. And
it's pretty fun, but like,
dude, but I mean, like, you're like, I look at those people. I'm like, you're lucky you can sit down for 5 hours and watch a fucking game. You know, I can't. If I sat down for 5 hours, I'd be going stir crazy the entire time. Like, man, I'm just letting time lapse here. I'm getting behind. I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to knock out. Like, I wake up and I fucking hit the ground. I mean, it takes me a minute to wake up in the morning. Once I hit the ground running and it's time to go and I go until we put the boys down. And then me and my wife chill and watch some shows and like I'll make a drink or something like that. During that whole course of that day, I'm not sitting there going, well, I wonder what's happening with the COVID vaccine today. I'm not even thinking about it. Do I hope the situation improves? Do I feel bad about what's going on? Do I know the answers? Absolutely not. But I don't need to beat you over the head with it, dude, because people are already doing that everywhere.
How can I help? And I'm pretty sure anybody with a degree would be like, oh, you want to help, Derek? Cool. Go away. Just go over there and find a stick, draw on the ground. We got this. Just leave us alone and please stop talking to us. I mean, literally. Yeah. I mean, we have people like, I don't know. We have people that are I'm kind of scared anytime there's just like, hey, here's this medicine we're gonna put in your body. Like, I'm just like, what's gonna happen to me, man? Like, because like I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all, but every time we go get vaccinations, I get nervous because they make you sign a waiver. Like, so if your kid starts flopping around and dies, like, it's not on you, bro. And you're just like, what? They're like, it only happens like every once in a while, but don't worry about it. It shouldn't happen. Most kids don't die. I'm just like, Jesus.
Well, a buddy was telling me that they had like an imposed flu shot, and if you had insurance, you got a different shot than the people that had insurance. So like, if I'm the dude without the insurance or whatever it is, like, so what the hell are they giving me?
Yeah.
You know, like, are they giving me like the leftovers or like the trimmings or whatever? Like, what am I getting injected into me? Am I gonna have?
And I don't know how any of that works. Like, I just see them sticking me with a needle, and they're like, "All right, now the magic happens." I'm like, "What?" They're like, little things you can't see. You have to imagine them are happening inside of your body. I'm like, you fucking with me, man? I don't know this shit for a fact. I don't know. I don't know what's happening in there. You shot me up with Sprite for all I know. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well,
I don't know. Like, it scares me, man. Like, and it's not like it doesn't like anti-vaxxer scare. It scares me like you just never know how. Like, I had a friend who had a son who had to have surgery, and the anesthesia killed him. You know, like this, you never know, like the weirdest thing. You know, like. And then I'm talking about grown ass people. I'm about me, man. Like here's your COVID vaccine. I'm like, cool. And they're like, oh shit, you're one of those ones, 1 in a million. Have a good call your dad. You're about to go, man. Like, oh shit, I can't breathe. Like I have that luck that I would be the 1 in a million that's on the warning label. It's like you might fucking die. Probably
that
not.
would be me too. That would be me too, man. Like I had a deep tissue massage. Like I've got a serious. I don't know. It's starting to feel like it's more serious to me because I picked up and played the guitar today for about 10 minutes and my whole hand went completely numb. But I had a deep tissue massage to work on my neck and my trap and everything, like where I'm having all those problems from that disc. And she's like, all right, when it gets to like an 8 in pain, you're going to have to tell me. She's like, you're going to want to take a bunch of like a leave after this and drink a ton of water. She's like, but it's going to feel good. It's going to hurt. You know, and dude, beat the ever living shit out of me. Like just complete. And I was like, she's like, all right, this is going to hurt really bad. And like pushing down on the nerve right where it's hurting and like grinding her elbow. And you're just like, God. I mean, I was seeing colors. I was like seeing blue and green and red and stuff. And by the, like, when I got done with that massage, man, I could barely walk. I mean, I was all like groggy and I've been chugging water all week. I feel like I ran a marathon just from having that deep tissue massage shit. It's just it was nuts.
Was she a small girl?
Average size girl, you know, not a big girl by any stretch of the imagination though.
Well, it doesn't even matter because like a small girl fuck you up if that's what they do for a living. Sitting there and doing deep tissue massages, like a girl that's like 115 pounds would probably fuck you up, you know?
Oh yeah. She gave me one and she gave my wife one, and we were both just, hey Shambo, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it.
You dick. Come watch the show and quit asking me. Oh, I told him, he asked me some Twitch questions and I was like, it's funny you mention it. I was like, Dusty Grant does paid tutorials. I was like, so you might have to hit him up to teach you how to do shit on Twitch because I don't fucking know.
I'm working on it, man. I'm starting to get better at it. The affiliate thing unlocks some new stuff that I'm trying to learn, and I haven't been brave enough to brave it because I'm trying to design my own artwork for my singles right now.
Yeah.
And I'm learning so much about that, and I'm just...
Save now, share now. At CaseySubaru.com, we are offering 0% financing for 63 months on select new 2021 Subaru models. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity. Go to CaseySubaru.com to learn more. Submit your charity selection by 1/15/21. See Subaru.com/share for details. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. Financing for well-qualified applicants only. Subject to credit approval. Expires January 4th, 2021.
We know you have a lot of choices when it comes to your education. It's time to make Thomas Nelson your first choice. We believe learning should be personalized to fit your needs. 50 years ago, we opened our doors to provide Peninsula residents access to a high-quality education. Today, Thomas Nelson continues that tradition and offers an education that is personal, affordable, flexible, and local. Make Thomas Nelson your first choice. Success. It's closer than you think. Visit us at tncc.edu.
Preoccupied with building this podcast, audio editing, trying to keep my mind on positive, productive things. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little concerned about this injury. It's been 7 weeks now and nothing seems to have changed much. And with a lot of physical therapy and treatment, I'm just wondering if this is like how it's going to be for me now. So that's kind of freaking me out because I have a hard time sleeping and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm a little bit lost of where I was going with everything, but
I just had to beat people up, man.
I know. I just had to. Like, to be honest with you, I thought that I just pulled like a muscle in my shoulder. Like I just was feeling like a little twinge in my trap, and I was like, that's nothing I haven't dealt with before. So I just kept training. 6 weeks later, I started noticing some tingling in my hand, some stuff like that. And then I went and got seen, and he's like, bro, your neck is fucked. You need to stop training like yesterday. And I went to the gym for a seminar because some of my buddies got promoted to black belt. Cody Carrillo got his black belt.
Oh, hell yeah.
The guy that teaches my kids got his black belt. It was a pretty special day. So I put the gi on and just went to be there for those promotions because I've been training with those guys for 8 to 10 years. You know, it's an important day for them. But I was talking to everybody and they're like, is that the shoulder thing you were talking about when you were training? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, God, dude, you were like hard sparring and shit with that going on. And I was like, yeah. And everyone's like, you need to just get off the mats, dude. Stay away. You know, you need to take a break. And I do. And I have been, and I've been babying the shit out of it. And there's not a lot of progress being made. So I'm a little concerned. Like they're telling me maybe I need to get some imaging done, but I don't know what that's going to tell me. I already know it's jacked up and I already know I'm not having surgery. So, you know where do you go from there?
How do you know you're not having surgery?
Because I'm not having surgery. I'm not having a neck surgery at my age. No way.
Then you'll be fucked.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, and a lot of the stuff that I've read about, like with those fusion surgeries where they fuse discs and stuff like that, it's not always like effective. A lot of people get it's like 65% or something like that. But what can you say? It's, you know, I played football since the age I was 12 until freshman year of college. I've been grappling for over 10 years, striking for 6 years, and I'm 39, you know. I don't know. I do definitely have to. I know we talked about this a little last week, but it's kind of changed for me this week a little bit because it's starting to get a little more real. I'm kind of feeling
because it's starting to overlap into other passions.
Yeah, definitely. And then that's been another thing why I've been leaning into this so much, because I do need to channel that energy that I had at the gym, that I had playing guitar, writing, everything. Thankfully, I have 2 singles recorded, so I bought myself some time. You know, I'm not in a hurry to release them. I'm doing all the design myself. I'm going to do all the promotion, all the graphics. I want to do the lion's share of the work for this release myself without any, you know, from top to bottom, just because I don't know. I'm just finding a lot of inspiration from doing it. I'm learning.
You've inspired me, Dusty Grant.
I hope so, man. So
me and Ian have laid down 2 tracks in the last week.
Good.
And I had some money at Breakfast Studios in Florida. I was going to have Brian Squillis, who does all the music for my shows. He does the outro and shit.
Okay.
I had sent him some money to re-record a song that I had written like 6 years ago that I wrote the song on GarageBand using like the little piano on my phone.
Yeah.
And a drum machine. And like, it's a really cool little track, dude. But the thing is I wrote it in one day in probably like 10 minutes. and then I sang the hook, and it's just a chorus that I have so far. And I sang the hook and I recorded it and I saved it, and then I immediately lost it. But I have a copy of that recording still. That's the only thing I have. But I basically sent it to Brian. I'm like, hey man, can you record this song? He's like, cool. How do you play it? I'm like, no idea.
No idea whatsoever.
He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I wrote this shit like 7 years ago on an iPhone, dude. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I just fucking hit. I was like, figure it out. So he tried to figure it out. So our problem with that song is that would be song number 3 is we currently have Mark King, who's has a master's in music. He's a composer, is what he like his
right.
his go hard is. And so he's listening to it and finding all the parts and shit. But no, you've inspired me to actually, and it's actually been really easy. I looked at writing music again in my late 30s, you know, as like daunting. The last time I recorded was when I was like 28, and like it's really easy for me to be reminded that if I were to go out on stage and play a show right now, first of all, I'm obese as shit. Second of all, like I got like this balding thing going on up front. Like it's not lost on me that I am no longer, or if I ever was, there's no chances of hell of me being the cool guy on stage. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's just like a middle-aged guy, like trying to rock out. Okay.
That's what I am.
Let's give it a shot. You know, it's like, I know that, but I mean, to me, man, there's like, it's really easy because like I've and it's been my biggest struggle with songwriting is I've always been waiting for somebody to say, hey, you're a songwriter, you know, like I always felt like I was always, you know, like, you know what I don't know. It's like you feel like, do I belong in this club? You know, and then at the end of the day, man, like we recorded 2 songs so far, and all I did to all my commitment, dude. This is all I did. I sat down for the first song. I sat down with the first song and I recorded 3 guitar parts that I had written over the last 50 years. I don't know. They're just 3 guitar parts that I mess around with when I play guitar, and then that was it. We recorded 3 loops of riffs. And then me and my brother just sat there, and I was getting stoned, and we were just sitting there. Yeah, we were just sitting there building a song, having fun. Like we were 16 again, man. And now it's to the point where like it's just this amazing thing, and we were like, okay, cool. Like now what do we do? Like now we don't know. The drums we have on there suck because we're not drummers. Everything else kicks ass. So I was like, well, fucking Brian owes me some fucking studio time. We can have him. So I got hold of Brian, and he's like super down to do it. So we sent him all the stems last night, and we're actually gonna have him mix it. He has records that he's mixed that are on labels and shit, you know, like your buddy and shit. Like, so he really fucking knows what he's doing. Plus, me and Ian are from an older generation, you know. We're like really into like Ian, dude. His favorite band is like fucking Failure. Or like, you know, it's like you probably never even heard of them. You know what I'm saying? Like 1995 is what Ian likes. So generally when you hear like we're not Trevino anymore. We don't know what we're gonna call ourselves, but generally when you hear like Trevino music, it's pretty heavy and real rock band. You know, like, oh, you got your guitar, you got your bass, you got your keyboard, and like what we're exploring now is as being older is just not seeing a song as 4 guys on like, you know, in a garage band picking out a song. We're seeing it more as like Kanye West, you know, like building a monstrosity of music using like samples, using anything, you know, like basically taking the rule book of songwriting and having any type of integrity that used to exist. Like, oh, your song's got to be
Hugo saying, sorry to interrupt you. Hugo saying he loves that you and Ian got him into Failure and Hum. He said some of my favorite groups.
Yeah, Hum is fucking.
What's up,
crazy.
Richie? How you doing, brher?
Aldape's up in this bitch, dude.
Is Richie Aldape?
Yeah, that's Richie Sachatori.
I'm gonna block him right now.
Yeah, just go ahead and block that guy real quick.
Just go ahead and block him.
No, but man, you really did, and you, Hugo, you know, it's like seeing people. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like we're gonna record this song, and I believe in, you know, I love what we have recorded. I totally believe in the guy who's gonna mix it and probably rearrange it, because that's another cool thing, you know. I send him all the stems of the song, and I was like, feel free to do whatever the fuck you want with these loops. I was
That's
like, I don't give
dude.
a fuck, dude. I was
For
like,
real.
you're a better songwriter than me and my brother. So here's like 6 parts that all go together. Have your way with it. And he was like, all right. He's like, I was hoping you were gonna let me, like, you know, change some shit. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, what do we know what we're doing? I was like,
well, that was the conversation I had. He's, you know, I had one song that we did very little to as far as arrangement, you know, took a little part out here, a little part out there, made this flow a little better. One of them is pretty true to how the initial song was. It's just a little tastier, you know, it's got some production, you can tell. And that's what I want. I want to work with a producer that's going to help me and challenge me to do that. And that's what he did. The other song is it's the same parts, but it's completely rearranged. The riff and the verse is completely different, but it's a powerful song, and people that hear it are not going to think it's me.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I have all that stuff. Dude, I've honestly been thinking, I'm like, so if I am hurt, who am I going to have play guitar?
Yeah.
Like,
Ian, dude.
I'm not stopping. My voice is fine. I've been singing my ass off all the time. I always, you know, I just haven't been able to play because I'm all twinged up there. I've got some nerve damage or something. But like, I'm chomping at the bit. I'm excited.
You and Ian, once you get famous, you'll just hire Ian to be your accompaniment. Ian's one of those dickheads. He's not a shredder. He's not like.
I don't need a shredder. No way.
But he's one of those guys that when it comes to playing bass or guitar, even drums, but his drums he used to be really good at in high school, but he hasn't played in 20 years. So I'm not gonna co-sign on the drum thing. But like bass and guitar, he's one of those dick bags, dude. He's a human metronome. Like he has to, when we record, I'll sit there and play the riff and it'll be okay. And then he'll be like, cool. And then I'll leave. He makes sure I'm not in the room when he erases my track. Yeah. He just re-records it in one take and it's perfect. You know, it's like right on. It's like, he's just one of those dickheads that just like, you know, and like I'm trying to teach him, like, cause you know, this is, you know, it was a victim of being in the middle of nowhere, dude. Like, my brother is a badass sound engineer. He should be running shows. He should be running sound at big venues. He should be recording bands. He's a great sound engineer. But you know, he was in the middle of nowhere, bumfuck Garden City, Kansas. And what are you gonna? It's just like we couldn't do anything, man. Like, there was like 7 bands that he could work with, and they were all badass, and he worked with all of them. You know, but I was like, dude, you need to be in a city where there's like 1,000 bands that want to record with you. You know,
like lining up. Yeah, you're slammed all the time with projects. But I think that's why Hugo and them are successful, because they're not afraid to hit the fucking.
Oh, they're not a local band.
No,
they don't. They play more shows out of town than they do in town.
Right, but I mean, I think that's what it takes. You know, I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing as a musician until I started hitting the road. And I did it aggressively, and I'm like, I want to jump into this and gain this experience. This is experience I need. I need to know where my chops are at. Everything. You know, it's like, if I want to validate myself as more than just some basement dweller fucking artist, that's not what I aspire to be. That's not what I want to do. You know, I'm just finding that experience was valuable. And now that I have that experience, it's given me a whole different perspective. You know, I have to be a little bit more careful about where I'm spending my time, how I'm spending my time, prioritizing. I mean, I have to be really efficient to get the shit done that I'm getting done now. Like, and especially now, like I made that post about doing that music seminar thing, and I got a lot of questions, and I started compiling like a release checklist. You know, like when you're an independent musician, here's all the boxes you should check when you're doing a release.
Which, by the way, when this song's done, you're teaching me how to be successful. I have blossomed you into a man. I'm gonna
broadcasting machine.
I'm showing up with a fucking like, listen, sir, you owe me a favor officially.
This is my 8th, and I'll happily share with you. You know I will, dude. But this is my 8th podcast since in 3 weeks that I've done myself, plus doing the Sunday sermon.
Oh, so no, I'm saying like I was able to be your. I was your 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, hey, but see, the way that I want you to do it, I think all you have to do is write down on a piece of paper, do this step, do this step, do this step, and then you could hand it over to me, and then I can do the rest. But like, yeah, I think like I would, that's how I look at it. I'm like, man, fucking. Whenever I ever have music, and I didn't think I'd ever would, honestly. And like, I'm only trying to cash in this favor because we have 2 songs now. You know what I'm saying? But like, that is something that I have, always realized. I was like, man, I have no idea how to get somebody to listen to my song. And
it's
like,
marketing.
All my friends, it's Hugo, Dusty, Sprout. Like, you guys are the ones that actually have like numbers next to your Spotify playlist, like your Spotify songs. Like we do a little bit, but not like you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's very valuable. Like, you need to totally sell that information, and honestly, not even to be a dick, dude. It's just, I think that it's not even to like, look, you don't have to look at it a way like, well, I'm benefiting from this. You look at it as a way like, people, I would willingly pay you to teach me how to do the shit that you're
and it's not even a matter of like, I'm greedy about it. The fact of the matter is, I did the research. I did it the hard way. I tried it. I screwed it up. I took the seminars at 10 o'clock at night when I had to work the next morning at 5 a.m. I took the marketing seminar on how to get your stuff on, how to fuck with algorithms. I made connections with music marketing people, and I'm actually going to be having them come on this show. Like, I want to help people with this, but at the same time, I have put in a shitload of hours brainstorming, lying awake for hours at night, and I've had some things that have worked, and I've had a lot of things that haven't worked. But having someone to share that information with you is invaluable, especially if you're somebody that might be starting out. It's like,
yeah. And honestly, man, like, there's a little bit of a fucking small town market to it, man. Shop local. Honestly, man, like, I'm a real big proponent of even stuff that I know how to do. Like, what back home media is basically is people will contact me and be like, hey, I need an intro for my show, or hey, I need you to, and anything that if somebody needs me to do a video for them, I'm gonna put my secret out there because I'm an idiot. Like what I do is I'm like, okay, you need a badass video made, and so I approach 3 of my friends that are badass, way better than me at music videos. And I say, hey, this is what they want. Send me a quote. And then I take the lowest quote. Well, but I only send it to 3 people I trust, I take the lowest quote. I throw $100 on it for being a middleman selling weed. And that's what I do. So like, to me, it's like I'm saying, like, the stuff that, like, I don't think you should look at it all like people feel like they're getting like one pulled over on. Like, I would willingly pay you cash money. I would just need to know the amount. Like, hey, show me how to do this. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I don't know help me. Like, just help me, right? Just help me. I'll pay. So, and like, that's the thing. Like, I think you're going to have people that are like just coming to you being like, yeah, money, I don't care about that. Yeah, fine. I'm going to pay you whatever. Please fucking show me how to do this. Like Shambo earlier was like, Derek, how do you connect your Discord to Twitch? And I was like, I did it one time, but I don't remember how. I don't have time to explain it to you over text message. I was like, Dusty's doing some paid training things. I was like, he might cover that sometime. I'll let you know. I was like, but as of right now, man, I love you. You're the shit. But unless you show up at my house with like a pound of weed, like, I can't teach you how to stream, dude. Like, I just don't have the time,
and that's the thing for me. Like, I sometimes I walk a fine line, and like, I really hope it doesn't make me sound pretentious, because I definitely don't sit here and say what I'm doing is the law. I don't know. I'm just like every other independent artist out here toiling in the fucking ethos, trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I'm the same way. I'm doing the best I can with
Save now, share now. At CaseySubaru.com, we are offering 0% financing for 63 months on select new 2021 Subaru models. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity. Go to CaseySubaru.com to learn more. Submit your charity selection by 1/15/21. See Subaru.com/share for details. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. Financing for well-qualified applicants only. Subject to credit approval. Expires January 4th, 2021. Save now, share now. At CaseySubaru.com, we are offering 0% financing for 63 months on select new 2021 Subaru models. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity. Go to CaseySubaru.com to learn more. Submit your charity selection by 1/15/21. See Subaru.com/share for details. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. Financing for well-qualified applicants only. Subject to credit approval. Expires January 4th, 2021.
The knowledge that I've accumulated, and I'm obsessed with the analytics. I've done the research, man. I have statistical fucking background on
you're like my wife, dude. She started Parentless Podcast, which, by the way, fucking listen to Parentless Podcast, people. If you're watching Dusty's stream or my stream, go to podcast app, download Parentless Podcast. It's a great show.
I'm gonna watch that or listen to it.
It's great, dude. Listen to the first episode. Your eyes are gonna piss tears, dude. But
I'm not sure I'm ready.
You're not, dude. I cried.
I'm not sure I'm ready.
Oh man, this is fucked
man,
up.
I gotta like I'm such a I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know if it's because I'm happy.
But it's not sad because it's like scary. Like I think a lot of people think Parentless is gonna be scary.
I know, but what I'm saying is I know how I am and I know what the topic is. And like these days, like I don't know what's happening to me, but I'm like in touch with my emotions. I don't care what anyone says, man. I can still punch you in the fucking head too. You know what I mean?
So listen to this. This girl in the first episode, her mom is dying. She's in the final stages of life, and she's highly medicated because she's in a lot of pain. So she's not really in a lot of pain. So she's having like euphoric moments. And she's sitting there having a conversation with somebody, obviously from her past, over to the right of the bed. My friend's just sitting there holding her mom's hand, watching her fucking trip balls, having a conversation with somebody that's a real person in her head that she used to know. And then she just looks over at my friend and she's like, I love you. You can untie me now. And died. I was just like,
yeah.
Fucking Christ, like, you can untie me now? Like,
I'm about to
who
cry.
wrote that? Scorsese? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, that's a movie. Like,
yeah.
Dude, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You listen to that show, man, and like, a lot of people don't want to listen to it because it makes them think like, well, I don't want my parents to die. But I think, honestly, man, like, listening to that show, one thing I've got from it is that as terrible as that day is going to be for everybody, at the end of the day, most of the time you're a grown up and like life has to keep going on. Like my mom, dude, she's like 60.
Yeah.
She was just hanging out. She called me one day and she was crying. She's like, my dad died. And I'm like, it was like 2 months ago. I'm like, what happened? She's like, he died alone. She was crying. She's like, he had a fucking heart attack in his bathroom and died. And I was like, and she was real sad. And I was able to dry those tears up real quick. I was like, Mom, he was like 85, 86. And he fucking has been a single bachelor that has sang at karaoke bars for the last 40 years. He's good. I was like, he got all he was owed. He got his money's worth, Mom. I was like, he didn't take anything serious. He was just a fucking cool bachelor that fucking went to the karaoke bars 2 nights a week in Hayes, Kansas, and everybody called him Donnie Cash. Like,
that's awesome.
What a fucking life, bro. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like when he died, I think he owed somebody like $800 and he owned a car and he had like enough shit that my mom was able to sell in like a day in an apartment. Like, dude, to me, that's like, you know, people are like, oh, I want to be mega rich, which I do. I want to be rich for different reasons though. Like I want to be rich because I think that like I could start other areas where it could benefit a lot of people with finances, you know, but like if I end up being like my grandpa, dude, just like 85 in a fucking studio apartment with enough shit I can fit in my car that I own to my name and I'm only $800 in debt when I won life, Dusty.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? I watch my grandparents die and all that, and they all have stories. Every single one has a story, and every single death has a story. And like, my wife lost her mother when she was young, so I live with someone that experienced that. I have close friends this last year.
That's different. Losing somebody when you're young. Now that's losing somebody as an adult. It's not like it hurts less,
right?
But like you lose somebody as a kid, like that's some serious rewiring in the brain.
And she had to take care of her brother and her sister and it, you know, whatever. And she's just, I'm just like, you're a fucking warrior. Here you are. That's why I love you, babe. You can be my sugar mama anytime you want to be. I'll be the best. If I would be the best housewife.
Well,
I'd
you
have
know
an
that
apron on when you came home.
if you ever get like to where you're surviving on music, you're gonna be a house husband. Like you're gonna spend a lot of time at home when you're not like on in your.
Fine.
It's not like you're gonna have to go to work. You're gonna be making a
Fine.
lot of quiches, man.
Fine. I'll get good at it too. Just slowly but surely, and then you'll be like, I'm gonna live stream how to make a bacon, egg, and cheese quiche that will blow your minds, and I'll have little subtitles and shit coming across. I don't care how it happens, Derek.
Yeah, dude. It's that's the dream, man. Like I like George Carlin's way of touring. It was beautiful. He would leave his house on Thursday morning on an airport, fly to a city, do stand up, either drive or fly to another city, do stand up, fly or drive to another city, do stand up. Sunday morning, fly home, and then from Sunday till Wednesday, he just was a regular fucking dude.
Yeah. I would love
And he did that until he died, man. Just lived. He was like, I'm a weekend warrior, fucking worldly known comic. You know, he's like, I tour on daddy's time.
That's badass. I mean, I would love to get there. I would love to get to the point where it's like, if you want me to come play, here's what you need to pay me, and people would pay it. I mean, what a great situation.
Dude, that world exists, man. Hinder, I was fucking hanging out, and Mark hits me. He was like, hey, man, how far are you from Scottsdale? And I was like, 4 minutes. And he's like, we got hired to play some billionaire party. You can't come because you're a peasant, but we're hanging out after if you want to come by and have a beer. I was like, sure, man. I'll fucking come hang out after the party. Jesus Christ. Like I couldn't get in, Dusty. That's how fucking bougie it was.
Well, this is how humble I am. I promise when I come to Phoenix and we hang out, it won't be the after party. You're gonna be the main event.
You say that now. Wait until you got a Grammy, then you're gonna be like, Derek, I just can't get you into this one, man.
Yeah, right. I'd be like, Derek, come here.
Mr. Diddy is very certain he doesn't want you in here. No, he just doesn't like the way you look.
Come on, Puff. That's my boy, Derek. He helped me start my Twitch channel.
He's like, nah, man.
Nah, bro.
Look at him.
It's like the only reason you're in here is because you can play.
Do we have mad love from the Caribbean and Trinidad?
That is amazing.
And then mad respect from Joe Hernandez from Smoke Nation Worldwide.
Hell yeah. We've got Alex in here. I think Hugo's in here. I'm not sure who else is in here. There's other people in here, but they're not.
I don't want
much.
Hugo. Okay, so me and Hugo I've always wondered how he knew how he thought I felt about this. Like I do have a fucking pure hatred for the idea of playing music from Garden City, Kansas or Dodge City, Kansas. Like I hate that idea because it didn't work for me. But the reason it didn't work for me is because we didn't really try. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think that's the case for
like
most.
I expected a result, but like you think about it, dude. Like even if you're in a city, I have friends here in Phoenix, dude. Phoenix is the 6th largest city in America. I have friends here in metal bands. You think they're playing to like 1,000 people?
No,
probably not. But like the thing about Ether, like you can, especially with the internet, you could totally live anywhere and make it work. But like with Ether, like they have 4 guys that are willing to get in a fucking van and go, and go play 3 shows a weekend, and like that is what it takes. And I think that people that are doing that, people that are, because dude, Trevino went and played like maybe 3 or 4 times on the road, and Hugo went with us on all the shows, and I hated it, dude.
It's not enough. I mean,
we got no money. We paid to go on the road, dude. We paid to go on the road. We didn't make anything, dude. And like half the time there wasn't a crowd. Like and like it just got really, like the thing is I peaked in high school, Dusty. I was in a band in high school, a new metal band.
That is not true, man. I don't believe that at all.
Listen, the first show I ever played, dude, easily 400 people there.
Same, dude. First band I was ever in is the most successful. But if you would let me front that band now or do what I'm doing now, I would tell you fucking kiss my ass. What I have going on now is what I want to do. Is what I want to be doing. I'm going to make my music work for me. I'm not going to work for
our music was dog shit. But like, dude, I remember being 16 and it just worked out, dude. Like everybody, we sucked, dude. Like our singer was so bad that like one of our tricks to going when we would do live shows is we would tell the sound man, like Ian would go to the sound guy and be like, okay, so like
Mute him.
Turn our singer down a lot. He's like, make it to where you can just kind of hear him. And they would do it. And we were like,
then you blame the sound guy.
we were like, no, I don't know. I mean, we were definitely new metal, but not like Godsmack or anything. Like, I don't really know how, maybe like a mixture of like Cold Chamber with like Deftones with the singer of Hatebreed. That was pretty much what we were, dude. And he didn't have any lyrics, Dusty. We were in the band for like 7 years, and he would just make them up every night. I'm like, I don't think that's how this works, man.
No.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Like, it was that bad. But we had, dude, like 400 people would go to our shows and shit. We'd sell shirts all night, dude. Like, people ask me to autograph their shirts. I'm like, that's retarded. And I just fucking sign it. You know, I'm like, I literally go to school over there, dude. like
yeah. Like, there's nothing special about any of this shit.
But like, it was just, and what's funny about that, dude, is like, we were shitting songs out. Like, we were shitting them out. And people loved it. And then you listen to the record me and my brother put out with our friend David Schumard, and he helped us with that stuff too. Like, that was some of the most thought out stuff we'd ever done. And like, musicians think it's great. Like, civilians, they can't turn it off fast enough, dude.
That's what you got to remember, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's
much,
a lot
man.
of, there's so many amazing guitar players out there. And I've played with guys like the Empire Falling guitar players are playing fucking
you sent me those songs.
Dual sweep arpeggios and fucking playing dual harmonics and crazy stuff. But I mean, I had to rein those guys in. I'm like, you guys got to remember that you can only have a little bit of shred in there. You have to have like 4 bars of shred in the bridge, and that's it. Like, or if you're gonna layer it, put it in the pre-chorus a little bit behind the melody and the rhythm, because people want to hear most people don't want to just hear.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that's amazing that he can do that, but I honestly
they might want to see it live if they're halfway through the set and they're fucking feeling you. Like, maybe go Eddie Van Halen on him for a minute, you know? But like, yeah, for the most part, keep it simple, stupid.
Dude, I went and saw Unearth in Oklahoma City. Do you know? Are you familiar with Unearth?
I've heard of them. Don't listen to them. But
They're a super heavy band, and you know, it's like metalcore type stuff. And I drove down to Oklahoma City to see him, and there was like 30 people at the show. And Unearth is like, on the East Coast, they're selling shit out, but at this show there was like 30 of us, and we were all musicians. Because we all wanted to see if they could pull it off live. And they pulled it off live. They played like they were playing an arena. They kicked major ass, and I was like, that was worth the fucking drive.
I'm listening to My Will Be Done right now.
Oh yeah. My Will Be Done is brutal. But I mean, listen to the guitar playing.
Yeah, it's fuck these guys, first of all.
Yeah.
I don't like guys like that.
No.
I'm like, fuck yourself.
Yeah, like, I couldn't do that if I had to.
Don't you go eat a dick, partner.
9 hours. I could sit down and play guitar for 9 hours a day and never learn an Unearth song.
Dude,
for the rest of my life.
It used to be my biggest, like, I was like, man, like, I don't know. I was like, when I was like 18 to like 27, I was like, I just want to be so good at guitar that I can just wake up in the morning, light a cigarette, and just do sweeps until I wake up. Like, and I never got there, dude. And I would sit there, dude, like nerd shit. Like, so I was like 18, and I was living in the jam room with a band that I was staying with these like 3 guys that were going to college. I went for a month. They taught me into going to college, and I was like, just quit. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I don't want to go to college, man. And so I lived in the band room, dude. Like, and so I would like write messages on the wall and shit. I've always been crazy. I love this quote, dude. But if you build it, they will come. I just fucking love that quote. It's from a fucking movie, a Kevin Costner movie. But I love that fucking quote. It's just it's a testament to hard work, dude. Like, if you do something long enough and hard enough, chances are somebody's gonna finally come watch you once you fucking figure it out. Once you hit that 10-year mark and you've mastered it. You know exactly what you're fucking doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like I would just sit there and just do fucking scales and just try all day. And I just wanted to be this virtuoso guitarist. And I ended up being really good guitarist for like riffs that I wrote. People would be like really impressed with stuff that I'd play, and they couldn't play it. But I couldn't do like basic rudiment shit that guitar. Like I was a self-taught guitar player. I never took any lessons, and you can tell, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I got to the point now where like whenever I do play now, like I don't know, man. Like let's change the subject here. how do you handle it whenever you have a band like this is going to show my age, like Mudvayne, their first album LD50. The guy's got like probably second to Corey Taylor, one of the most brutal screams that I had ever heard at that point in my life, and you could tell he's not phoning it in with that Chinese breathing shit. Yeah, he's actually destroying his vocal cords, and then he did destroy his vocal cords, and there was years where he couldn't even do anything, and now he's like, so
in hell yeah.
But now he still does Mudvayne sets every once in a while, and they still play songs off that first album, and he doesn't sound anything like it because he can't. What are your thoughts on musicians that try to prove something in their early years, like they try to really reach for the song, and then you go watch them play in their 40s and 50s, and they're singing the lower registry on all the choruses? Like, does it kill the vibe for you whenever people write stuff that they can't do years later?
No, I honestly, for me now, with the experience, that I've had, I haven't toured or done anything crazy, like more than anybody else out there. I'm not like this dude that's played thousands of shows on the road. I did 2 years of touring that I set up myself, and that was the first exposure that I'd had to that kind of touring. But I wanted that experience. And to be honest with you, like, I have a couple songs now where if I don't have my chops really sharp, they're hard for me to perform. Mm-hmm. I'm aging, man. Like I'm 39. I don't always have the time to sit in my car and sing warm-ups and scales and sit down and work on my craft every day for an hour. So sometimes when I get to a show, man, I'm feeling haggard as fuck. It's like, you'd get in your car and do it. You get in your car and do it. Do the year I did. Here's my job. Here's my family. Here's my work. I'm so to the point now where, like, it's going to be what it is for me. And I don't really care I understand. I've written some lower register, like my next releases are going to have some lower register stuff.
Oh, wait till you hear my new songs, dude. I'm not even singing. I'm like air singing, dude. Like, yeah. Like, honestly, like, because I fucking listened to the Get Up Kids growing up, dude. So I always, and this is the two reasons why, if you listen to the Trevino record, I sing in a higher registry. 2 reasons. One, because I grew up listening to the Get Up Kids. I thought that's just how you were supposed to sing if you were from Kansas. And 2, we never had a good PA system. So if I sang in a lower registry, you couldn't hear me.
Couldn't hear it. Yeah.
So I had to sing in a higher registry so you could hear me. And that just developed into this, like, lifelong, when I sing, I'm always like, it's just like, stop it. You have a badass microphone. You have a badass sound engineer that's going to take that shit that comes out of your mouth and make it sound as physically, humanly possible, as good as it possibly can.
I'm going to send you a couple links. They're vocal workouts that are like 15 to 20 minutes long, and they just help you establish your range and get comfortable in your natural range. And so I went in the studio this time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey man, I want to develop more dynamics in your voice. I don't want you to be blown out the full time. I want to hear some of that bass. I want to hear some of that smoky, some of that grit." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm ready." Because I had been working on that. When I got bronchitis, I was doing those warm-ups to try to keep myself like alive to play the Crown Uptown show. And then I just got addicted to doing those warm-ups every day. And then when I went in the studio, he's like, "Can you sing these in this octave?" And I was like, yeah, that's like cake for me. But it sounds, I have so much headroom with my voice. Like I can add effect to it almost without straining, and I can add grit, and I can make it clean, and I can project it, and I can bring it in, and I can be like, so I did a lot of that on these next 2 recordings, and people are going to be like, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. I don't really know. I honestly, I don't knock any musician as they develop for trying new shit anymore. I used to make fun of all the Metallica stuff. Fuck you guys. Metallica's can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, they kicked the world's ass and brought metal. You know what I mean? They brought metal to a whole new level in the world. If they want to cut their hair and get off booze and write some rock albums and do some other crazy shit, let them do it and leave them alone. Like, they've ascended to a level.
Do you really need like a long-haired fucking idiot James Hetfield? I mean, seriously, it's like,
not now. No, when he was young,
back in the day, yeah, it was fine because that was who he was.
Right.
But actually, let's not act like Hetfield's out of the woods, man. He just went back to rehab last I heard.
He's not out of the woods, and he never will be. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody will be that has those type of issues. But I mean, considering the circumstances, he's done pretty fucking good. I mean, the longevity that those guys have had, if you think about the fact that their stuff came out in the early 80s, when I listened to Kill 'Em All, I'm like, this record could be on, Spine Farm today and still kick the shit out of most of the stuff on the radio.
Yeah.
Even with the production, the way you could almost hear that mic was sitting in an amp room just blasted. When you heard the intro to Seek and Destroy, you're like, God damn. You could almost imagine what it was like when they were recording that. It's like, God damn. So I don't know. I'm not an elitist anymore. I used to be like, when people I'm like, he can't even sing in the same key anymore. Well, he's 70 and he's been on the road for 40 years and he's been doing acid and drugs and heroin and shit. And he's been to rehab 74 times. Let the guy sing in the lower key. Let him have a teleprompter. Leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I mean,
don't answer this with your 39-year-old mind. What did you think about Some Kind of Monster the day you watched it the first time?
I loved the video. The Some Kind of Monster. I loved the video, how they did that, like the raw garage.
No, I'm talking about the documentary.
Oh, God, I watched it, and I'm not sure that I was of right mind when I watched it, so I don't have a very
Nobody was, Dusty.
I don't think I have a very good recollection of that at all.
But I mean, do you remember being like, this is awesome, or like, man, this is...
No. I remember seeing parts of it and not liking it and not watching it. I can
revisit it sometime as an adult, dude. I watched it when I was younger, and it was the most cringy thing I had ever seen in my life. And I was like, why the fuck are we goddamn fucking airing this shit to the world? But like, look, watching it as a 35-year-old man, I watched it like 2 years ago again. I get it. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what happens when you're in a band with a bunch of fucking people that refuse to seek mental health therapy. It's just a bunch of people winging it. What up, Steve? What up, Wade?
Yeah, we got some people chiming in here. We got Hugo, we've got Alex Aldape, we've got Cody Moore in the house. So yeah, there's some people watching, but I'm honestly like, just let the guys go down their path the way they want to go down their path and leave them alone. If you don't like it, jump off and stop talking shit. That's it.
I generally don't. Anytime I hear somebody say like, oh, I don't like this genre of music, I kind of immediately check out of that conversation. I'm just like,
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like polka, but I'm not going to fucking I'm not going to say it's bad.
So you're going to tell that guy that on the tuba that he sucks. You pick up that tuba and play that song, bitch. You know what I mean?
Anytime, I think it's a young thing. Like when I was younger, I was an elitist. I knew who the true artists were.
Of course.
And I was really quick to tell you if somebody was phoning it in. I'm like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. He's just a fucking, he's stealing all. And like, I would immediately rip them apart. And like, the older I get, dude, like when I see anybody performing art, I'm usually just like, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah, exactly. I
might not play it again, but I don't think you'll ever hear me saying that music's bad unless it's just like three guys that are like fucking software developers with $1 million and like, let's start a punk band, and it just doesn't work out. Like, I might not like that, people that have nothing but generally if people are like artists and they were born with like that drive inside of you to create music, like I tend to trust most people.
I'm pulling for most people, dude. I really am. I'm pulling for them. I don't care if I'm sitting at a restaurant and there's a dude there pouring his heart out playing Coldplay songs to please the dinner crowd, and he's just gutting it out and doing his best. Like, I'm in. Good for you. If you're getting paid and that makes you happy.
Oh, dude, you want to get a slap in the face, dude. You think you're good, Dusty. Go to any fucking crowded Mexican restaurant on a Friday night where they have guys walking around with acoustics singing. Yeah. And you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, these guys are really fucking singers. I'm like, okay, guys, like, here's a song I wrote. I'm really embarrassed. And I start doing all the excuse train. I'm like, it's new. I haven't sang in a while. I haven't practiced. These guys are just like, oh, you want to hear that? Okay, my friend. It just like goes into it, dude. Sweat pouring off of him.
But he does it every night.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and man, I wish I had that confidence to just not even confidence, just that like that free will, like because I feel like I'm the guy that if I see a guitar in a crowded room, I feel like the first person to grab it. Back in the day, I would be like, "Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that starts playing." But like now, as I get older, dude, like I'm just like, somebody gonna pick that fucking thing up? Like let's shred, dude. Somebody play some songs, like there's nothing more. And that's the thing that sucks, like getting older, I don't really play guitar like I used to, dude. I used to, like I'm telling you, dude, hours a day I would just sit there and play my guitar.
You can't do that now. I can't do that.
Dude,
I wish I
play
could.
for maybe 45 minutes every 2 weeks, maybe.
I wish I could, dude. I wish I could play. Alex is asking if you just went Japanese to describe Mexican music. Yeah, if I could sit down and play guitar, like I was thinking about it the other day, just daydreaming, and I'm like, you know what? If I was getting paid to do music, I would come up with a regimen every day. I'd be like, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. scales, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. vocal scales, 11 a.m. to noon water, hydration, stretching, noon to 1 rehearsal, and I would just every day get up and be like,
I don't think a lot of people realize that either. Shit. I think a lot of people think like if you're in a band that's like signed, that like you're just like, oh, I can't wait to be signed so I can just sit around all day. No. Like my buddy, he's not even my buddy. We're acquaintances. We've smoked weed together 3 times. And he's in a band with a really good friend of mine that I grew up with. But he's a drummer for Devil Driver, and he has like a Twitch channel. I should link you. You should interview Austin for you would love him, dude. He's cool. Please. Shit. Anyway, he does a Twitch channel, but like just by watching this guy's videos he puts out on, so he's like his whole mantra is shred sober. Like I said, I smoked some joints with him back. That was a long time ago. This guy doesn't. He's a Christian. He's a metalhead. Like you wouldn't. I don't know.
Awesome.
He's a whole fucking thing, dude. But like, he's a Christian dude and he's sober, but he's like the most gnarly dude in the world. But like that guy. I don't know how much you make playing in a band the size of Devil Driver. I'm guessing it's a good amount of money to live off of. But for that guy, and it's not like that happened the day he got signed with Devil Driver. The only reason he's in Devil Driver is because that guy has treated drums as a full-time job since he was 18 years old. He didn't work at a restaurant. He was always in a band that was doing some type of shit that he was making money. And whenever he wasn't at work, he wasn't fucking sitting around jacking his dick off. He was sitting there doing rudiments and playing scales. Like that's all that guy does. He wakes up, has a fucking healthy breakfast, hangs out with his wife, and then he goes into his studio and he plays drums for 9 hours. If he's not on the road and he's at home, and now he twitches that shit. He lets people watch him do that shit for hours. It's like, and I know we probably gotta get out of here. So I'm good on time, but whatever. But this your Twitch channel, like that's like Twitch is a godsend for people like you and Austin who spend a lot of time doing things that it's just you. But if you just turn a camera on, it's not just you anymore. It's like some people hanging out with you, watching you just do your thing, and like I love that shit, man. Like I really love Twitch.
I think I'm gonna get into like even when I'm doing like trying to fix my voiceover, because I like the voiceover that I did for the podcast. I'm in love with it because it was the first one I successfully completed. But now that I'm learning a little bit more about editing the audio and getting into that, I'm starting to not like how it sounds. So I'm like, no, I got to retrack it. It's got to be clear. I'm thinking about adding some noises and some transitions and shit. Like, I'm thinking when I do that, I might just share my screen and freaking Twitch it and be like, here it is, cutting the fucking deal. Because if I can't play guitar, it's going to limit me a little bit as far as playing music. Yeah. If I can't play guitar, I'm going to have to teach someone my stuff and have them come play. Or I don't know. Who knows?
That would be easy, man. Like I'm telling you, there's 50 Ians within 5 miles of you in Wichita.
Right. And I think I could probably
just find a sober one like Ian. Like Ian's the perfect guy for you. Ian's the kind of guy that's just like, okay, what time do you want me to be there? What songs are we gonna do? And I can leave as soon as we're done. And how much do I get paid? All right, I'll see you there. And he'll be there when you tell him to. And he'll play your song perfectly. And then he's not going to hang out and have beers. He's going to be like, thanks, I don't care. I'm going to go home. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. You need a guy that like sees it as like, yeah,
I'm hoping I don't need that guy. I'm probably blown out of proportion, but it's getting
I don't know, man. Like, because your songs, you listen to Dusty Grant on Spotify. It's not a guy in an acoustic most of the time. No. You got a band back there. It's you and the producer. And like, it's not like you have your buddy Paul on bass, it's like it's you guys are producing
me and a producer,
there.
But there's bass
at the same time, I think that if you got to where you were touring on like a big scale, you think you would just be just you out there just by yourself, or do you think you're gonna have like people? See, so like like I'm talking about down the road, like get you a bunch of sober guys like Austin and Ian, and just hey guys, we're gonna play some songs today, and then you can go back and do whatever the fuck you do for 24 hours a day. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I know hang out around here with us idiots and drink.
I know there's guys out there that do that, and that's great. I just hope that I'm not, wounded.
Yeah,
for long.
I'm just saying, worst case scenario, it's not a big problem.
I'm not. The biggest thing is if I couldn't train like I want to train or train as hard anymore, that would be a little depressing. If I can't play guitar like I was able to play guitar, that would be a little depressing. However, going into this, I'm well aware of the risks. And if I had it to do all over again, I would do it probably harder earlier.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. I don't know. I guess, like I was saying earlier, like, I guess I'm in touch with my feelings more.
Yeah.
Like I'm in this Zen place where I'm like, no matter what happens, man, I'm going to make the best of it. And I'm going to continue to fucking move forward. And I don't care what anyone says or does. No one's going to fucking stop me. And that's just where I feel good, man. I feel confident. I have a family behind me that supports me. I'm happy. I got a job. My kids are somewhat healthy. Like I don't have much.
Occasional laceration.
Yeah. And I'm going to send you the picture of his arm. He got his stitches out and it's gnarly.
I showed my kid that and he's like, oh my God. I was like, told y'all to quit fucking around, man. I was pre-yelling at him for the next time he gets hurt. I'm like, listen, dude.
Elf on the Shelf's watching you guys.
I have told you several times to stop doing that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. No matter what happens, I'm gonna be fine. So I'm not like when I tore my ACL though, I was like depressed. I'm like, this is a year. This is a year down. But I wasn't doing music or anything at that time because I was with somebody that didn't let me.
Yeah.
And then I finally, like, I'm happy now. Like my wife's like, I encourage you to pursue your passion. That kind of thing. So
as soon as you get home from work.
Yeah, most of the time. most of the time, dude, I get home from work.
I mean, but it's like it's good to have a wife that I was like, my joke is like, she's not like, Dusty, I want you to pursue your passion, quit your job. She's like, as soon as you're done with your chores, I want you to go as hard as you can. Dusty, and you're like, deal. Yeah. I'll fucking do it. I'll make it work.
With it. 100%, dude. 100%. I'm fucking cool with it. I'm like,
I mean, you're right. You've been within a situation where that wasn't an option. Like just having somebody that like, cause Stephanie I got her into podcasting. So now she cares about it. But before she did her own podcast, dude, like she could care less about this shit.
Right.
All that stuff, and like, honestly, dude, like she's never listened to she doesn't listen to my shows. None of it. And sometimes I want to get heard about it, but like, honestly, man, like Stephanie's like perfect for it. If I was with some chick that was sniffing my farts all day and telling me like I was awesome and like, oh, you're doing everything perfect. No, I need that. I need to do a great show in here and then walk out and have an immediate return to earth of just Stephanie being like, yeah, you said you were going to take the trash out, but for some reason it's still in there and your fucking kid keeps fucking hitting his head on the wall. I'm just like, okay.
Me and you are very similar in that fashion because like I recorded a song that I wrote for my wife and it's, in my opinion, pretty beautiful. And I have not gotten that much of a response out of it.
Did you send it to her and she just wrote back K?
Well, I listened to it with her and I was like, so she's like, it sounds good. I'm
like it's pretty good.
Like I cried when I first heard it. She's just hardcore, but she's perfect for me, man. Like I need somebody to keep my ass in check because I get a little hot and heavy on stuff sometimes. And it's like, you're right. Bring me back down to earth. Yeah. Okay. Well, the washing machine broke.
Yeah.
Like, hey babe, I got 100 more followers on Twitter today. She's like, yeah, we need a new dishwasher. Oh, okay.
I just need 5 minutes, honey, of just no, we're not gonna do that. Okay.
No? Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll go look at dishwashers.
I'll be at Home Depot. Let me measure this up. and that's it. But dude, it works perfectly. Like I'm as happy as I could possibly be. So it is what it is, considering what it is, and like I'm good with it. But
I mean, honestly, dude, if you have somebody that's just 100% supportive, that can be just as dangerous, man. Somebody that like they're not going to tell you when you're doing with something you're doing is a bad idea.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm sure your wife has saved your ass a couple of times in your life where you're like, I'm gonna do this, and she's like, that's stupid as fuck, bro. Like,
yeah. It's like, why don't you say hey, and she's like, you're stressing out over this. She's like, I got an idea. Say no. When someone hits you up and wants something for free and is trying to milk information from you, and it's somebody that's not a close friend that helps you out also, just say no to people. And she gives me that advice. And the next time I said no, I was like, wow, that feels good. Yeah. And it just got easier and easier, you know, but it's like, sometimes you need somebody to keep you in check. And she's great. I wrote this for you. Oh, I'll go take the trash. Yeah. Alex knows exactly what we're talking about, because he's a musician too. But like, speaking of that, I should probably get going. I got some tacos up there that I want to eat, and I should go see the boys. I've been absent all week. So Derek, tell them how to get a hold of you again. Plug some shit.
Just Facebook, basically. Derek Evan Releford. I post all of my shit there. And I usually post the links to the podcast I'm on. I'm on like 5 podcasts now, it turns out. Didn't even realize that was going to happen.
Good for you.
And yeah, I post those on my personal page. Just send me a message on Facebook, and then twitch.tv/backhome media.
Amazing. Derek, you are my most downloaded episodes so far.
Obviously.
And for the people that do like our rapport, I do a podcast with Derek on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. If you're man enough to wake up and watch it. It's called the Sunday Sermon, and it's probably the most demented show I do during the week. And I'm always feeling a little touch and go when I go in there. So I'm always baffled by what we talk about. And it's called the Sunday Sermon. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. But it's fun to tune in live if you guys can tune in live. But the Sunday Sermon's awesome. It's me and Derek and Alex Aldape and Sarah Rogers if everyone shows up. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 4. You never really know what you're going to get, but it's an awesome show. So, I love doing these with you, man. I hope you want to keep doing them. So
yeah, man, for sure.
Hope everybody had fun, and, connect with me on social media, connect with Derek on social media. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Episode 4 is a wrap. Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful weekend.
Later, man.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on your podcast platform of choice to be notified of new episodes, and leave a positive review if you dig what you're hearing. Guys, I would love to hear from you on social media. Let's get connected at DustyGrant57 on all platforms. All right, y'all, that's it for now. See you next time on DG and Friends.
Save now, share now. At CaseySubaru.com, we are offering 0% financing for 63 months on select new 2021 Subaru models. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity. Go to CaseySubaru.com to learn more. Submit your charity selection by 1/15/21. See Subaru.com/share for details. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. Financing for well-qualified applicants only. Subject to credit approval. Expires January 4th, 2021.
We know you have a lot of choices when it comes to your education. It's time to make Thomas Nelson your first choice. We believe learning should be personalized to fit your needs. 50 years ago, we opened our doors to provide Peninsula residents access to a high-quality education. Today, Thomas Nelson continues that tradition and offers an education that is personal, affordable, flexible, and local. Make Thomas Nelson your first choice. Success. It's closer than you think. Visit us at tncc.edu.